us, consider that in our factories we have a lot of moving assets. Consider that in our factories we have a lot of moving assets. So taggers, we have forklifts, people moving around the shop floor, and so the stress that is on the head of the person related to the risk that the person may run in moving around the shop floor is very high. So in order to improve the health also of the person within our factories, we decided to find a solution. And the solution proposed in the 5G project is very appealing for us.
We started with a logistics scenario which is very close to our mentality and to the philosophy of the products we promote the market, and we had to change from an external GPS tracking to an internal tracking where technology is totally different. I think the biggest challenge was to find the appropriate hardware, to find the appropriate technology to support our needs, because we started with Bluetooth beacons. Eventually, they were too noisy, very little accuracy, not at all a good solution for identifying the exact position, the exact location of an entity in the factory, because when discussing about safety and avoiding collisions, accuracy is important. Then we switched to ultra-wideband beacons. Again, we have faced some issues with connectivity because it was a very new technology for the recent cell phones. And eventually now we have ended using a very special hardware with ultra-wideband anchors in cooperation with ultra-wideband tags in order to accurately locate the position of a moving entity or every entity inside the factory so as to promote the safety in moving conditions of the workers and forklifts.
The first demo of the use case 7 took place at the Whirlpool experimental facilities.
The application was great. So we, at the end, it was the first time. So for us, it was also the first experimentation that we had. And I was surprised by the readiness of the solution. And at the end, also the easy installation mode that is required in order to implement the demonstrator in the area that have been selected. So the system is very precise. So we are capable to track with high precision the position of the person moving around the space. And so for sure, the final impression is very positive. So I am pretty confident that we will be able to track the movement of the people, not only the forklift and the tagger, so the device and the equipment moving around the factory, but also person, because the possibility to have a tag that may be wearable, so maybe wear by the people, may ensure us to think to an application at the whole factory without no particular problem. So I think I'm pretty confident related to that. Thank you.
You know, when you are only on a video call, you hear about Whirlpool factory, you think of a factory of normal dimensions coming from a small country like Greece. Dimensions are always limited based on the size of the country. So when we arrived there and we realized that in order to go from one point to the other edge of the factory, it takes more than 5 or 10 minutes by car. So we realized the size of the factory, so the huge opportunity for the European project, and why eventually European projects are so vital for the research and the innovation actions. So, but going in details, the installation took place at the refrigerator production line of Whirlpool. So it was again quite challenging, but I think we were well prepared. Inside our laboratory, we had done many tests. So when we arrived at Whirlpool, at the refrigerator part, we identified the positions where to install the ultra-wideband anchors. We did some final adjustments to have a good coverage of the area. We identified the polygon area. So it had a lot of steps to follow in order to provide a very solid and robust solution. But the steps took place in a very good way. They were well organized. We had a very good support from the people of the team and the people in the factory. So eventually, we managed to identify the polygon area to track, to have the exact positions of the anchors, the moving entities, people or forklifts with wearables or the magnetic tags to locate them, and we had a very good precise identification of a moving person inside the area. And of course, all this could be easily exposed and visible to our partners, Whirlpool stakeholders.
Our aim was really to provide a technological solution supporting the person moving in the factory in order to ensure that there are no risks related to collisions with the potential moving assets. So for sure, the expectation are achieved, because also in the test. So even if the installation was only temporary, so in the next months we will work in order to create a fixed installation for the anchors in order to be sure that we can test easily, also validating the performances also of 5G connectivity. This is something that for sure has to be considered. But one interesting point that I raised also during the demo is the capability of the solution to be exploited at full factory. So covering not only refrigeration factory, which is the most challenging one. I agree with Panos. The other factories that we have are not so complex, also from infrastructural point of view. But for sure, the idea is really to be able to cover at least indoor, but potentially also outdoor, because why not? All the area of Cassinetta and potentially also the other factories. So for sure, we are really very interesting in the solution. We start also thinking to potential further application of this solution, not only coming back to the original scope of the use case for 5G-INDUCE, so to the fundamentally transport topic. For us, for example, is crucial to have the possibility to track in a precise way the movement and the position of, for example, containers of boxes, so for material delivery, material management within the factory. And this is another part that really it's very, very appealing. But also insisting in the safety domain area, thinking to solutions that may support, for example, the alerting in case of health issue by the person. If a person had the problems and fell down on the floor, this may be identified and alert may be managed. So to have the possibility, having the possibility to track in a precise way the position of the person, also related to the floor, it's something that for sure will increase the possibility to have a safety system supporting our workers in the factory. So a lot of applications are opening in front of us. So I think that we will have really very, very good potential driven by this solution.
Opportunity for us, I would say, is that so far we're, I think, okay, it's a bit selfish, it sounds a bit selfish, but we regard ourselves as experts in outdoor tracking, in outdoor locating objects, creating route optimization, GPS tracking, telematics. So we are experts in that area. So this European project, it was difficult, it was challenging, but it opened to us a totally new world in the fact that we can track objects inside internal facilities where GPS coverage is not an option. You do not have GPS. So finding the proper way to identify the position of an object inside an internal facility, in a huge facility like Whirlpool or a similar huge warehouse or factory, is vital, because it allows you to create, eventually to go from an end-to-end logistic scenario, from internal to external tracking, and of course, several applications, as Enrica mentioned, about safety, about health, about man-down functionality. So it's a new production line for us, and we can see it becoming a huge opportunity for iLink in the next years. Of course, with support of Whirlpool, we hope in the next months.
It seems like a great collaboration.